Good morning, lovely Canadian morning we have here. Welcome to Scott Rods. My goal today is to finish off the sanding on this body and put the driver's seat in and start sizing up where the shifter is to go and the steering column. That'll be fun. Yeah, I had to switch the camera off and move it away because of all the body filler. Absolute. Watch. So thick. There's like 1/4 inch of filler on this section. It didn't need a 1/4 inch of filler on there. That was just silly. Other people's mistakes. Whereas this is my mistake. So I'm not going to film the rest. Still to do this panel and the other body filled panels at the other side. I hate filler. Horrible thick section there and another thick section there. So I'll get all that done and I'll see you in a bit. Don't you just love body filler? Do you understand now why I was leaving that job to the end? Oh, my nose is completely stuffed full. And I was wearing a mask on it. Right, I'll probably get my compressor out and blow all this away. If I use a duster, all I'm doing is spreading it about. So I'll get all that dusted away. I like how they use the filler here to hold that panel on. I mean, it's got like 6 tacks and then just full of filler. That's just lazy. But it's a new section, so I might as well reuse it. I'll add another 2 tacks and it'll be fine. Put some filler on it. Seems to be, oh my goodness, excuse my nose. Let me go and blow my nose. Clean this up. Hopefully go into some fun stuff. Oh, I need to get rid of all the powder inside as well. Right, that's enough of that. I rolled it back. Swept underneath, so it's absolutely perfect now in the driveway. You couldn't even tell I'd made a mess. And then I pushed it back up, so I'm out of breath. Right, let's dig out, excuse me, let's dig out my steering column, my steering wheel, and a chair and a shifter. Let's have a look at the interior, eh? Found the parts I need. So this is my steering wheel that my wife rewrapped in sort of burgundy leather with gold stitching. It's my modified B&M shifter, and that's my steering column, which is obviously a quick release jobby. So I'll get the chairs in, or I'll get the driver's chair in and see how much space I've got. I'll put you guys round this side. Part 1. There we go. Right, let's have a swatch of this. Right, I'm going to have to be closer. That's better. So this needs to come up a little bit. Maybe about, it's hard to tell, I need to get some blocks. Yeah, probably about 4 inches. Cool. Loads of room. Loads of room. Whoa. So the chair is quite far forward at the moment, but it's actually quite far forward on its runners, so it will come back about 8 inches and forward a little bit, but that's fine. That's roughly where it'll be, probably a little bit further back. I like to kind of sit quite close but have the back quite far back. And look at all this room in the back. That's crazy. I'm so tempted to put a little bench seat in there, but why bother? Think about that. So now I have to decide exactly where the steering wheel is going to go through the firewall, because within the next week the final part of my steering linkage should arrive. So I'm guessing the steering will come out just under there, probably about there, and then come over to here, and then along there down to my steering rack. Awesome. Should I cut a hole? Oh, I don't know. Let me play about, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I have a plan. First thing I'm going to do is attach the steering column, and luckily, oh, as you can see, hopefully there's already 2 holes, and I happen to have a U-clamp which is the right size, but that hole's a little bit small, so I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. Right. Shouldn't need a whole lot of enlarging. There we go. Right, so I will put my shaft in. Now I will be adding the other half of the U-clamp. I suppose it's kind of like an exhaust clamp, but it will do for now just to hang it in the right sort of area. It'll give me a ballpark. Okay. So I'll be able to work out the angle now that the shaft has to be, if it's okay at that or if it needs to be up like that. We'll see, but I need to be sitting where you are at the moment, so hold on. Okay, I'll put the chair roughly where I want it. Because of the runners, it has to go kind of down there. I don't want to mess with the runners. And I also have to make sure there's enough room for the other chair. So this has to go pretty much there. And I also need to be able to close the door, so we'll try that as well. Oh, that's a bit tight. Right, so plenty of room for the door, so that's not an issue. Yeah, I'm thinking about that angle there. Roughly there. Oh yeah, that works. So I can see my gauges right in the middle there, and the bottom of the shaft is going through. I could angle it that way a bit, just so that it lines up a bit more with the rest of the linkage. But if I can get away with it being perfectly straight, that would be ideal. These chairs are good, lots of bolster, very nice. Because of the shape of the window curving and the hood pointy, it's really hard to work out if I'm looking straight, because I'm looking at a triangle, and I'll show you. So this is my view, roughly. So as I say, the steering wheel, lots of visibility for my gauges. Down there is roughly where the steering column is going to go through the firewall. Put my foot under it so it doesn't slip. So with the door closed, plenty of room for my hand and my arms. Gear linkage should be fine. It doesn't really need to come up much higher, if at all. I'm not sure. Might just be lazy of me if I don't. But yeah, roughly there. And it won't be rubbing against the chair either. Okay. Wow, feels like a car with a steering wheel. Brum brum. Hope no one heard that, except everyone on the internet. You know, I can't actually believe the amount of space inside this car. That's pretty much where the chair's going to be. That's pretty much my driving position. The steering wheel doesn't have to be any further that way. Shifter lever is fine there. Look at all this space. Not quite enough room for a human. Maybe a miniature human or two, but I don't have miniature humans. So, what should I put in there? That's a lot of space to do nothing with. Give me your suggestions. Sorry about the sniffing, it's just I've still got body filler in my brain. But that's epic. I'm so pleased with the amount of space I've got. There is one thing I forgot, and that would be the handbrake. But I think if I move that forward a few inches, there should be plenty of room for the handbrake. Let's face it, whoever uses a handbrake in an auto, you just put it in park. So as long as it's got the handbrake and it works, and it can sit in there, that'll be fine. Right, I'm going to hold off cutting a big hole on my firewall until I get the final part of my steering linkage. Because if I cut the hole in the wrong place and the linkage cannot, you know, turn the U joint without binding, then I need to cut a bigger hole or another hole. So let's wait for that part. So tomorrow I think I will be brushing it all down properly. I'll let the wind do some work tonight, you know, save some electricity, and get rid of all the dust and get some lacquer on it tomorrow morning. Clear lacquer, just to protect it a little bit. And then I think tomorrow I will take care of the seat mounting points. I need to make big metal plates. I can't just bolt them into the floor, there's not enough strength in the floor. I'll probably do a solid plate going from one bolt hole to the other bolt hole on each side, just to get a bit more support. So that's tomorrow's job. So, not a lot done today, but hey, every little counts, right? So do me a favour, remember to subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate you all. See you in the next one. Bye bye.